Good evening, everyone. Jose J. Garcia, real estate investor, coach, and mentor. So another Sunday coaching call this evening. We are going to talk about let's talk about appraisals, comps, finding the value of mobile homes. And I want to talk about that because of the excess emails that are coming in as to how do I find the value of a mobile home. That's a very common question, and I mean you need to know what the value of a mobile home is. ARV, after repair value. You need to know even more so what the value of a mobile home is as is. How do you know what to offer, what to pay, how to negotiate? You can't do none of those unless you know what the value is. So, and the questions were, do you have a good appraiser? A good appraiser, they can appraise a couple mobile homes. Unless it involves land in a certain area, a certain market, no, you shouldn't even be thinking about appraisers. When you think appraisers, you're thinking real estate. So those are real estate terms, real estate things you use. I mean, you don't do that with individual mobile homes, which are personal property inside of communities like the ones we invest in. So forget about appraisers. They're not going to help you, and they're going to charge you crazy numbers, even if they can. I'd almost be curious to call an appraiser and see what kind of numbers they come up with. Interesting. We may think on something like, I just want to see if they're even in the ballpark. My guess is not so much. Okay. Brokers, realtors, that's another one. And nothing against these people. These people specialize in what they do, their fields, obviously what they're appraising and checking out based on comps, etc., which we'll talk about. But they're not going to know the value of something they don't really deal with, especially here, for instance, in Georgia. You can't do many closings. You really can't do a whole lot of closings with realtors, with brokers. They will immediately tell you we don't get involved with that. We don't associate with mobile homes. Again, unless it has land, which would be real property, real estate, they're not getting involved with this. They're not getting into stuff for them to call them and try to get a quote or an idea of what the value of a mobile home is. It's not going to work for you. Okay. It's not going to work for you. They're not going to want to hear it. Okay. So one of those things. So forget about those two. Now, if it does involve land, I would highly encourage you to find comps potentially, not with an appraiser. I wouldn't link to an appraiser, but I would say get with the local broker, local agent, and they're going to want to help you anyway. If they know you're buying, you're selling, you're an investor, you sound dollar bills, dollar signs to them. So that's how that works. But let's uh let's talk about finding the comps. Okay, you find comps, you find the value, you know what you can pay for, you know what your maximum allowed offer, meaning where you can negotiate. Okay, biggest mistake I see investors make is you overpay. If you overpay for the mobile home, you're already at a loss. Okay, because you still have to, let's say you want to keep it, maybe to do a rehab and flip it. Well, then there's also going to be the cost of the rehab, which is the material, the holding, the utilities, the insurance, the labor, miscellaneous, oh my gosh, moments, all these things are adding up. The list just goes up, up. And the bigger the number that you're all into, the less the profits at the end. So again, some of these things you can only finagle, if I can use that, when it comes to the money sense, but the number you should be focused on is the cost of the mobile home. The lower the cost of the mobile home, the better. Okay. And rule of thumb typically is whatever the value of the mobile home is, okay, as is condition, I want to pay half or less for it. That's a formula that I would use overall. You can't do it in every market. Okay. But again, some markets, higher numbers, higher returns, high risk. You just kind of name it on that. Okay. So let's talk about how do you get comps for a mobile home that is inside of a community. I just got through telling you that you can't call a realtor, a broker, or forget about an appraiser. Okay. Don't call an appraiser. You also cannot visit Zelle, Trulia, FMLS, MLS, none of those. Forget about all that. I would say mobile homes are unique to get up and do the work. I mean, that's just the way it is. Okay. Make phone calls, find out what these numbers are, because one thing about it, even if you do use sources and sites, and a lot of those are so outdated. Okay. Not talking negatively about them, but Zillow would be one of them. I understand real estate. I don't invest in real estate as much as other people would, but I understand numbers. And some of these comps that I see, I don't know where that number came from. It's not even close to where it should be. I'm talking a couple 100,000 more or less. So I wouldn't trust systems like that anyway. I want actual comps, actual numbers of today. And the rule of thumb is what has sold in the past 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Those are the numbers that I want to focus on. Those are the numbers that are going to matter. Now, how do I find these numbers out? Okay. The key number one would be to call a community, call the park manager, call them and ask them. They work at the community. Some even live there. So they will be able to tell you what sold in the past few days and get specifics, get details. Don't be vague about, hey, what are mobile homes being sold for? Because you could be talking about a double wide or a single wide. I want to know what a single wide sold for in the past 30, 60, 90 days. Was it a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, square footage, year, make, model? Anything you can get that's just going to help you. Okay, size of the mobile home, that's also going to be a factor. You can have a 3 bedroom, 1 bath that's maybe a 14 by 70, or you can have a 3 bedroom, 2 bath that is a 16 by 80. So that's the difference in that. Okay, you got to know these things. You can look up old ads. People have a tendency to post their investments, their mobile homes for sale on Craigslist, Let Go, OfferUp, Classified, Facebook, all these sites, but they never remove the ads. They leave them there, and that to me is a plus because even though the home is sold, I don't want ARV homes anyway, but it shows me what they were listed for. Okay, so it's just one more idea. Then there is the visit the communities yourself. Drive out there to the communities. Hopefully, you're starting out trying to invest locally and not 7 states away. That wouldn't make too much sense. Not that it can't be done. Okay. Visit the local communities, and there's always going to be people, residents. Remember, these are communities. People communicate, people know each other. Okay. So it's easy to drive by. You're not an investor. You're just asking, you're just getting details. Do you know any mobile homes that are for sale, have sold? There's always that one person that's going to say, "Oh yeah, Joe's down there sold last week." Get some details, and they'll share everything with you. I had this funny story where if you do visit a community, a park, there's always a guy or a lady walking their dog or just walking, and they are the ones that know everybody's business in the community. Friend them, get to know them, get their number, and they will share every detail for you, even when somebody's about to sell. That's a tip for you. Get some more deals, okay? Let's see what's another one. Another strategy you can use is you could connect. I would still say visit the communities yourself, but you can connect to social media with maybe bird dogs, wholesalers, other investors, and ask other investors may be investing in those markets. And if you do drive into the community and you see other mobile homes with a for sale sign, it's easy to tell if it's the community's number versus somebody individually. If there's other investors in there, that's a plus already because you got a network now. Now you got people doing the same thing you're trying to get into, but call them up and get to meet them, get to ask them. Network is a beautiful thing. But remember, somebody doing what you're doing is not a competition unless you see it that way. I don't. Somebody doing what I'm doing in the same community, same market means somebody who can buy from me, somebody who can sell me. You see, I may have an overload of inventory, and if I have another investor, there you go. I got this available. Give it to you at a discount. If they have some overload, I can be the buyer. You see how that works, okay? And it's a network of it. But so a couple tips on that, okay? When you are looking on the market, I made the suggestion of Craigslist, Let Go, OfferUp, Classified, Facebook, and all these sites. Those are our Facebook. Those are our mobile home sites. Real estate has Zillow, Trulia, FMLS. The ones I list, those are ours. I don't want to comp to an ad if it's not sold yet. Okay. And what I'm saying is don't comp to what somebody's asking. People can ask whatever they want. That's not a true comp unless it's sold. So you want to make sure that the home actually sold for whatever it may be. And I assure you, if somebody listed a mobile home for 30,000, it didn't sell for 30,000. 22,000, 23,000. I don't know. Maybe there was a lease terms, lease option, note, whatever it may be, but there was a discount of that. So find out and only comp to mobile homes that are actually sold. Okay. Core comps. And I see this. Well, I have a single wide as a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, but there's no other single wides that have sold in the area. So I comped it to the double wide. They comp the smallest to the biggest, and they just deduct a little bit. Doesn't work that way. Okay. There's always somebody selling. Now, one thing about the communities, and some people have said, well, just comp to a mobile home next door or the next community over. When you do something like that, you got to think about one community is very different from another community. Think about it in real estate terms. If you're on one side of the bridge, the houses sell for whatever that number may be. You go over the bridge, it's not the same numbers. Even though it's a short distance may be, there's very different market numbers. So when it comes to communities, we grade these mobile home parks. I grade them. There's 1, 2 to 10, I think numbers. I do A, B, C, and then there's D, which that's where you don't want to be. You don't want to invest there. You may come missing all your tools, that kind of thing. So, uh, but I want to comp to like parks if that's going to be the case. B park comes with a B, C with the C, and that sort of thing. Okay. And then time of the year, that would be another one. So, we are no longer in income tax time, income tax season, meaning back in February, March, and April, maybe a little bit to May. I don't think so. February through April, people have money. People have income tax. There's thousands walking out there, right? So people have money to buy. You're able to sell quicker. You're able to sell for cash. And a lot of times you're able to sell for a little bit more. Okay. Be mindful. Okay. Be for the people. Always. We're providing affordability housing, not trying to gouge anyone, but those are the hot times when you can make cash sales. This time of a year now, okay, no discouragement to anybody. It's still a perfect time to invest. Now is where you finance. So now you're taking maybe a down payment, or maybe you want to get strategic and say, how about I rent the mobile home for the next 6 months, and come next income tax time, we will transition from a rental to a lease option, or maybe have enough cash to pay outright. You can get creative on something like that, but the numbers also will dip a little bit from that. They're not going to be as high. Okay. And I'm not going to get into lease options and interest and all that tonight. That's not what the call is about. This is more so, for those of you joining us, I am recording on the background Zoom. The call will be posted tomorrow, Monday morning. So it'll be on our YouTube. You can visit GarciaMHU.com. All of our social medias are there. You can check out the videos, catch the replays. Okay. We do have a Q&A coming up, potentially next Sunday, by the way, which is what I should have done tonight. Q&A. Q&A is where y'all can ask me questions back and forth fire. We just print out emails and I just go down the list, answer kind of thing. But you can drop a comment on here if you like. Okay. So those are my tips for. Okay. Forget about an appraiser. This is not real estate. If there is a mobile home on land that you need better comps, comparables, you don't know exactly how that works. Then I would say maybe a realtor, local broker, maybe somebody who you're going to use anyway for your closings or resale. Okay. And the rule of thumb about comparables, find three. They should do five. Find three at least. Three equal like same square footage, same type size home. Okay. Same amount of bedrooms, bathrooms, etc. As close as you can to that. And add all those three to the bottom. You're trying to get as close as number as possible. And remember, my formula is when you're talking about a used fixer upper mobile home, it's always going to be paying half the value of it as is mobile home. Now, it's all working backwards. ARB minus, 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 and you come to a point of this is what I can offer. Let me break that down. Okay, I'm not moving quick, way too quick because it's only 8:15. We actually got through this call quickly tonight. Okay, let's say a mobile home sells for 25,000. That is ARB after repair value. It's beautiful, moving ready. It's been rehabbed, all shebang. Awesome. 25,000. Okay. If I'm looking at a mobile home like it, same size, same year type, same bedrooms, bathrooms, I know that if I rehab mine, if I invest in it, I can get 25,000. That's a number. Those are comparables. So now what I'm going to do is take my fixer upper that I'm trying to invest, and I'm going to add what is going to be the cost of material. What is going to be the cost of labor? Now, here's where you're going to have to get some handymen, some contractors, get some quotes. Okay, if you don't already have a contractor with you, you're going to have to get that. If you need a hire contractor, that's a whole different quotient. You're going to have to add the holding cost. The holding cost consists of, let's say it takes you a month and a half to get a rehab. Well, in communities, you have to pay a lot rent. You may have to pay a deposit. I don't know. Depends on the community. So that means that if I'm sitting for 2 months being rehab, that's 2 months I need to allocate those numbers to my expenses, right? Because that's going to be out of pocket. Then you have utilities, power, water, whatever you may need. Okay. That's going to be another expenses. Then you have insurance. Yes, please, all of you. And if you need insurance agent for mobile homes, by the way, send us an email. We have an agent. He can connect you, get your policy, whether it's rehab, post rehab, rental rehab, whatever you need. So definitely always secure, protect your assets. That's what I'm saying. So you add all those numbers. Okay. So 25,000 ARV rehab, which would consist of the material and the labor. I'm looking at 5,000. The holding, let's say it's another 1,000. Okay, we're at 6,000. Then there's the utilities, the insurance, etc. We're around $6,500. $6,500. Don't forget. Okay, and mobile homes are not perfect like anything else. It's never going to be a perfect rehab. It all worked out. Never does. Has never, will never. So you're going to have to also allocate a oh my gosh moment. Oh my gosh moment means the contractor gets in there, starts tearing the walls, the floor, and oops, there's mold. Oops, there's something else. That's another expense. So I always allocate another 1,500, maybe 2,000 just in case. And if I don't use it, that's a beautiful cushion to get back, right? So I'm at 8,000, let's say, okay? 8,000 all in to repairs to get it up and going. How much can I afford to pay on the mobile home now so that it can still be a deal? No deal, no investment is the same. I get it. But some of y'all may be saying, I'm not getting involved in that. That's fine. Some of you may say that's a home run. That's if I buy it for 3,000, I would be in it all 11,000. Okay. Remember, there's no closing fees, nothing but a title transfer, which is 20 bucks. Okay. 11,000. And I can resell for 25,000. Is that a good deal for you? That's up to you to decide. Okay. And you break these numbers over and over. Anybody getting new into this, you're looking into the market, you're looking into mobile homes, forget about the mobile home. Find out the numbers first. Find comparables, find the market numbers. And if those make sense, a mobile home is a mobile home. We can break that down and get a number. Okay. We do this with markets. You know, we are going west, further. We're covering the whole southeast now. So Texas, I will be in Texas this year. Saying in the past year, we'll be in Texas. And in Texas, it's a whole different market. And I'm not talking about an area or the whole state. Every's different. We'll start in Dallas. We'll move down to Austin. We'll move down to San Antonio. Different markets. Okay. Need, demand, cost of living, you know, all these things change. If I know the numbers and I know it works out, now I know what to shop for. Now I know what I can afford to pay. All right. Hope that helps. Comparables, finding the value of as is mobile homes. Remember, no appraisers, realtors, brokers, only if it involves land. Okay. A couple of announcements before we go. So Tuesday, don't forget Tuesday, we got deals again. We'll be back here live on Instagram also. We'll be pitching the best off-market deals inside of communities pre-approved for investors and even more for GMHU students. I coach you, so I know how you think. Okay. And then Seco. Seco is live. Seco is posted and it is expected to sell out quickly. Seco is not my event. You are sending me emails. I love them. So I am part of the Seco event this year, but it is not my event. Maybe one day. Think about that. But Seco, check it out. Okay, we have a special link if you want to join through us. It is going to book quickly. I'm telling you that it is the biggest mobile home. I call it mobile home networking event. Okay, it's an educational. It is going to be full of community owners, park operators, park managers, investors, everyday people trying to get into. I attended last year, and I mean, we have a network, massive already as is. But last year alone, I attended the 3 days that it was there in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I made more connections last year than probably the entire time I've been investing. I mean, it was just one connection after another connection. Think about being in a room full of like-minded people, driven, successful, and trying to become more. That's what Seco is. I mean, it's full of education this year. They took more of that, as one of the investors said, less of a trade show and more of an educational platform. I mean, you have wholesalers that are going to speak in there. You got investors. You got creative financing, how to buy a mobile home park with little or no down. I mean, all these things that, again, depends on the level where you're at, all that's beneficial. But again, you're in a room, like-minded people, networking. You're trying to get a deal. You're trying to buy a mobile home. You're trying to sell one. You're trying to build a connection. Priceless. Okay. Priceless on that. So that is in September. September 10th is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. So we will be there. We'll be on stage speaking one evening. I don't know which evening. Doesn't matter to me. Maybe I'll speak every evening. We'll have a round table. We'll be meeting with students, investors, networking, you name it. Okay. All right, our next event. So some of you, if you follow our channel, you may be aware that we own a studio down in Tampa, Florida. It's an LED live studio. You can check it out online. We are going to be hosting an event. I am thinking it's going to be the end of July. We'll list it on the calendar. We'll put it on our links on our sites. You can check it out. It will be virtual as well. It is a studio, so we're able to very easily also broadcast it Zoom via Zoom. But if you are in the area or want to join us in person, much better. Right now, we are thinking it's going to be more introduction to mobile home investing, but we will also bring in real estate investors because it's a mix of, I don't hate mobile real estate. So some people say you only like mobile homes. I love mobile homes, but I'm not against real estate. I love the low risk, low entry, high reward, and that's what mobile homes are. But we will have real estate investors that are going to be talking about also creative ways to getting into real estate. Some of you maybe could come in and do 5, 10 mobile homes, flip them and get a first house, go on to a condo, a duplex, a triplex. You see, you're growing. It's a portfolio, whatever you want. But we will make this event for in July, so stay tuned for that. All right. That is it for this evening. Yes, that's it for this evening. I got one more coaching call to go, and that's going to do it for this evening. So see you all Tuesday evening. Let's do deals, 7 p.m. Thank you for watching.